Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Gotta give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh. And his only begotten son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So we got to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the argue pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Orlando Camp coming at you another lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification, another daily edification. Lord's willing, this be edifying. So I titled this lesson, They Have Been Revealed Through Their Wicked Actions. Through the actions of these particular people, they have been made known. They have been revealed through their wicked actions. Lord willing, be edifying. So I was meditating, as I watching at the plantation last night, the elder Rum from GMS Birmingham, that beloved Zaquan State going in, as all other brothers do, on these devils. But just meditating on how these devils have been revealed through their wicked actions, man. Through their actions. Like it is a group of people on the planet that's ruling the earth in wickedness, and it has been shown through their actions, man. So Lord, let us be edifying. Now I'm going to read this. This is Second Ezra 11:39. Just meditate on all the wicked things that's been going on in the earth, man. All the wicked actions that's going on in the earth, and it's all coming from one group of people, man. Like when you think about Hebrew Israelites, our everything was on the right side, right? So we wrote from where? Right to left, right? Well, here in Babylon the Great, you have to write from left to right, right? Total opposite of everything. As the scriptures say, they're going to be opposite of Yahweh Shema Shah. Hebrew Israelites, the origin, the origination, if that's a word, of writing is from right to left. But we write from left to right now, man. Why? Because of wicked rulership. Everything is done through wicked rulership. Everybody's being taught through who? The action of these group of people, right? Babylon the Great, you have been taught through these people, right? This is Second Ezra, chapter 11 and 39. It reads, Art not it, art not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them. So this is talking about a specific group of people. Again, Second Ezra 11:39. Art now thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them. When you read Second Ezra chapter 6, what does it say? It's Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse. Let's read Second Ezra 6 and 6. It reads, Then did I consider these things, and they all were made through me alone, and through none other. By me also they shall be ended, and by no other. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or what shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it say Esau is the end of the world, right? So going back to 2nd Ezra 11, you got to understand about these four beasts in the book of Daniel. Again, 2nd Ezra 11:39. Art not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? Who is the them? It's talking about Esau Edom, right? That the end of their times may come through them. Now, when you read in Daniel 7, talking about the fourth beast, right? This is Daniel 7. This is Daniel 7 in verse 7. And it reads, after this I saw the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all beasts, from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Now, this fourth beast is talking about the Roman Empire, right? And it said it had what? Great iron teeth, which is what? Military power, man. It's might in the earth, right? Now it say, this is Daniel 7. It say, verse 17, these great beasts, which are four kings, which shall arise out of the earth, right? So this is talking about Babylon, Medo-Persian Empire, the Greeks, and then the Roman Empire, right? So what happened to the Greek Empire? Why does not the Bible speak about the Greek Empire? Well, it do, but it's only a little short paragraph, right? A short chapter about it. This is Daniel 8 and 3. It reads, it say, in the third year of the reign of the king Belshazzar, a vision appeared unto me, even unto me, Daniel, after that which appeared unto me at the first. And I saw in the vision, and it came to pass when I saw that I was at Shushan in the palace, which is in the province of Elam, and I saw in the vision, and I was by the river of Ulah. Then I lifted up my eyes and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had two horns, and the two horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. Right? I saw the ram pushing westward and northward and southward, so that no beast may stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will and became great. And as I was considering, behold, an he goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth and touched not the ground. And the goat had a noble horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had two horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his two horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up four noble ones towards the four winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceedingly great towards the south, and towards the east, and towards the pleasant land, which goes into Antiochus Epiphanes, right? They tell you about the four noble horns, and out of them came up a little horn, right, which was Antiochus Epiphanes, right? It say, and it waxed great even to the host of heaven, and cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, right? When you read about the story, Antiochus Epiphanes coming back from defeat, he came against Israel, Judah, Benjamin, Levi in Jerusalem. It say, and stamped upon them. Yeah, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifices were taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down. And an host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgressions, and it cast down the truth to the ground, and it practiced it and prospered. Right? So this is going into this will happen to the Greek Empire, which is mentioning it a little bit here in Daniel the 8th chapter. Right? So the Greek Empire was the beginning rulership of Esau Edom, right? Then it went to the Roman Empire. So back in 2nd Ezra 11 and 39. And are not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit, right? For the earth has thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore, as thy wrongful dealings come up to the highest, right? And you can read that in Jeremiah 51 and also in Revelation 18. Therefore, as thy wrongful dealings come up to the highest, where say their sins have reached into heaven, and thy pride unto the mighty, the highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. So hold on. When you read in Luke 21, making this point, Luke 21 and 24, it reads, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword, talking about the Israelites, when Jerusalem got taken down in 70 AD, and shall be led away captive into all nations, which the Israelites are scattered all over the earth. Point is, it say, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles, listen, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Hold on. Back in 2nd Ezra, again, 11, reading the point. 2nd Ezra 11 and verse 44. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. Who? Who is the his? Back in 2nd Ezra 11:39, art now thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? Who? The last batch of Esau Edom, right? 2nd Ezra 69. Esau is the end of the world, right? So when you look at a certain group of people, what's going on in the earth? This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 6. It reads, let me read this, Habakkuk 1 and 5. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously. For I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told to you. Right? It was told to us that they had to be revealed, man, in their time. Right? They had to be revealed first. And then shall the end come, because everything got to play out through them. 2nd Ezra 11:39 said what? That the end of their times may come through them. Right? When you read in Jeremiah, let's get this real quick. Jeremiah 50 in verse 45, and it reads, Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he have taken against Babylon, and his proposes, that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. He shall make their habitation desolate with them. Same words, 2nd Ezra 11. Same words, that the end of their times may come through them. Listen, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see, this is dealing with Esau Edom. Back in Habakkuk 1 and 6. This was when it said Habakkuk 1 and 5 again. Behold, ye among the heathen and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days which you will not believe, though it be told to you. It's been told to us that these things have to happen before the kingdom of heaven come, man. Right? So it say Habakkuk 1 and 6, for lo, I raise up the Chaldeans that bitter. Wasn't what America, what's the word known for America? America is known as bitter. Okay, that's the when you change America, the word is bitter, man. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, that bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. They are terrible and dreadful, just like it's saying in Daniel 7. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses also are swifter than leopards, and are more fierce than the evening wolves. And their horsemen shall spread themselves. We always go into this. The Roman Empire fell. Why? Because the arm was spread too thin, and the denarii crashed. Right? Their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteneth to eat. Where they came from, these conquistadors and Spaniards, they came from afar. They come over here, right? It say, they shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. Which are you Israelites? And these other heathen nations, man, right? And they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. That's what happened to us in the Greek Empire. They scoffed at kings, and the princes was a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. And this is talking about who? These group of people, man, that control the planet with much wicked oppression. Now, this is First Maccabees, chapter 8 and 15. During the time of the Greek Empire, they established a Senate house, just like today with Babylon the Great, right? There's a Senate house established. This is First Maccabees 8 and verse 15. It reads, Moreover, how they had made for themselves a Senate house wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting always for the people, to the end they might be well ordered, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all you say, and that all were obedient to that one. And today is what? The president, right? Which is just a puppet for the elites, but he's still set up. It say, and that they committed their government to one man every year, who ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. In consideration of these things, going into Judas, the point was, and that they committed their government to one man every year, whom ruled over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, and that there was neither envy nor emulation among them. This is going into how Babylon the Great, North America, is established today. It's nothing different, man. As the scripture said in Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. So I'm making points proving that these, which it's been proven many times over. Brothers do this all the time, right? This is, now listen, this is Colossians 2 and 8, and it reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Listen, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach, right? It say after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceits, right? It say after the rudiments of the world and not after Hamashiach. So, what are the rudiments of this world? It just said it. Philosophies and vain deceits. So let's get this word rudiments on Google. It say rudiment. Rudiment. It say, looking up similar words, it say the first principle of, right? The word rudiment means it say the first principle of. Let's look up some of these words. Similar words say basics, fundamentals, elements, essentials, first principles, beginnings, foundation, nuts and bolts, ABCs, right? So, what are the rudiments of the world according to the leaders? Their principles, their foundation. It say what? Their basics, their essentials, their beginnings, their elements, their fundamentals, right? That's the rudiments of Babylon, the Great North America. That's established, right? Through what? Through their code of conduct, through their laws, through their policies, legislations, right? Democracy, philosophy, their draconian measures, their draconian laws, right? Now, this is Psalms 94 and 20. And this is simple, man. This is plain that who's in control of the earth, man. If you had to pick a people who is in control of the entire planet, according to reading these scriptures, who would you say it is? It's Psalms 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity, iniquity which is sin on top of sin, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? With who? Meaning with the righteous, which frameth mischief by a law. Listen, verse 21. They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Now, this is, it said they frame mischief by a law, man. This is plain. This is Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, right? They frame mischief by law, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Why? To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. You see, they do this through what? Policies, legislations, democracy, philosophy, their draconian laws, right? This is Isaiah 24 and 5. It reads, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenants, right? And I did a lesson the other day, last week, about meddle not with them that I was given to change. Well, who's changing these laws constantly, continually? Who's doing it? It's not everybody, man. It's only one group of people that's doing this. It said the earth is also defiled. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. They changed these laws. When you go to Daniel, which is talking about the fourth beast, this is what they're going to do. So let's read this again. This is Daniel 7 in verse 23. It reads, then it said, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, which I read in 2 Ezra, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Hold on. Let's get this again. 2 Ezra 11. Let's read this again. 2 Ezra 11 and verse 40. It reads, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed. This is the same thing I just read in Daniel's. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were passed, and had power over the world with great filthiness, and the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. So long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. It just said the same thing in Daniel's. Let's read it again. Daniel 7 and verse 23. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. You see that? Verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time and times and the dividing of times, and think to change times and laws. Hold on. Let's go back to Isaiah. Isaiah 24 and verse 5. It reads, the earth also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Who's changing? Who's changing times and laws? There's only one group of people that's doing this, man. There's only one. This is Matthew chapter 10 and 26, and it reads, fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. This is Luke chapter 8 and 17, and it reads, for nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. Right? This is Second Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3, and it reads, let no man deceive you by any means, for that they shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Through what? Through their actions, right? Their description, right? Their visage. First and foremost, their visage, then their actions. What did it say? Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. Meditating on Yahweh Shema Shah. What Jacob like to do? Hey, meditate on Yahweh Shema Shah, righteous Jake. Sip a little wine. Even wicked Jake like to chill, right? They like to do they get their little whatever. Jake like to get money and chill. But Esau like to do what? They are cunning hunters, man. That's why they use deer collars and duck collars, and they gotta set up and use doe pee and buck pee to catch deers, right? They like to parasail, scuba dive, bungee jump, right? Parasailing, rappelling, all these different things, right? That's what they like to do, man. Jake just like to chill, man. Get some some yayan or some strong drink. Chill, right? The Lord showed us the description, man, of Jacob and Esau, man. Right? It say Second Thessalonians 2 and 6. And now ye know what withholdeth that he may be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, which is Yahweh Shema Shai, until he be taken out of the way. That's why I tell you in Isaiah, they say that none hindereth, man. Because this is the work of Yahweh Shema Shai. Verse 8 reads, and then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. This has nothing to do with Elam. This has nothing to do with Ishmael, or Moab, or Ammon, or Ham. You see, this has everything to do with Edom, man. It say, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Who are we dealing with, man? Who are we dealing with? Now, when you go back to Colossians, right? Colossians 2 and 8 reads, be well lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world. When you go to school, what you learning? What are you learning? You learning what you was taught, right? From who? From the left hand energy, right? When you go to these theological seminaries, what you learning? You learning what's being taught, which is plantation Christianity, right? Hebrew Israelites write from right to left. Well, now we writing from left to right, right? Everything that you learn is the rudiments of the world, which is what the definition said, the first principles of who? The ones that's in rulership, man. You have to learn their ways. You have to adapt to their environment, man. If not, you're gonna be left out. At least so they think, right? If you don't adapt, if you don't adopt their philosophies, their ways of life, which is the rudiments of the world. The word rudiments mean the first principles, the essentials, the fundamentals, right? You're going to be left out. So, just a few precepts. Who are we dealing with, man? It said they set up them for themselves a senate house and set up one man every year, a ruler, right? That all may agree to this one man. Well, it's the same thing now, man. They get they get to sit up one. They set up one man for 4 years, and if he get a second term, 8 years, man. There's no difference. It's plain, man. Who we dealing with? These devils, through their changings in times and laws, that's plain. It said the fourth beast was going to do this, right? So now we're dealing with Babylon the Great, which is the revived Roman Empire, man. It tell you in Revelation that one of the heads of the beast was healed, man. Was wounded and then healed, man. Well, if you understand history and prophecy, it's talking about North America, Babylon the Great. We have to learn these same ways from these devils, man. Why? Because we sin against the Lord, right? So this is how life is, man. But it's plain how the Lord set this up. That these devils is who the Bible talking about, man. All the rape, rob, murder, pillage, and plundering they have done, man. These devils left documents, man. They left books. It say the rudiments, be well as any man spoil you through philosophy. So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians have been destroyed through the philosophies of the rulers of this world, man. Right? It's plain. This is 2 Corinthians 4 and 3. It reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world, have blinded the minds of them which believe not. Through what? Through philosophies, man, and vain deceits. It say, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, least the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of power, should shine unto them. Well, we know who is the God of this world. We dealing with the seed of Satan, man. Which in the article I looked at a couple years ago, it's called the serpent seed line. This is Ephesians chapter 6, and it reads Ephesians 6 and 10. It said, finally, my brethren, which is talking about Israelites only. The word brethren go back to Israelites. As a matter of fact, let's look that up real quick. Look at the word brethren. This is Ephesians chapter 6. Let's look up this word real quick.
Strong's G80, Adelphos. Adelphos.
It's a, I'm gonna read all of them. It's a brother, whether born of the same two parents or only of the same father or mother, having the same national ancestor, belonging to the same people or countrymen. And that's what we're looking for. It's also a fellow believer united to another by the bond of affection. That's not it. An associate in employment or office. That's not it. It's a brethren in Hamashiach, which is true, but it's a his brothers by blood, right? Now I say another one say Christians as those who are exalted to the same heavenly place, which are only Israelites. It's a strong definition. It's a the womb, right? It's a brother, literally or figuratively, near or remote, much like it's a G1 brother. So you got having the same national ancestor becoming to the same people, belonging to the same people or countrymen, right? Israelites. So let's go back. It say, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil, which is their trickery, their cunning arts, right? Their conniving, crafty trickery. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, like it says in 2 Corinthians 4 and 3, the God of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So who are we dealing with? We dealing with the revived Roman Empire, man. That's what this is about. So going back to this, Second Ezra 11, Second Ezra 11 and 39, again, art not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times may come through them? That the end of this earth, that the end of this rulership is going to come through these people, man. It's plain. And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. This is the exact same thing as saying Daniel 7. And had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. This is talking about the Roman Empire, right? Then you got the revised Roman Empire, which is North America, Babylon the Great, man. It's not no coincidence that when you look at Washington and every other downtown of every city, man, every state, the downtown areas All are like Rome, man. This is not a coincidence, man. But to them that is in the know, we know, man. But they said through their they should change times and laws, man. We're dealing with the same people, man. That's why for these guys talking about that they are done or they ain't done away with, man. These the same people, man. It's Ecclesiastes 4:16. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after. This proves to you that there is no end of the people, man. It say there is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them, right? Which is who? The Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomites, right? It say they also that come after, which is who? The revised Roman Empire, Babylon the Great, North America, man. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them, right? With the Greek star, with the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire, they also that come after, which is who? The revised Roman Empire, North America, Babylon the Great, they shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit, man. There is no end. It's a them that was before, which is the Greeks, right? The Romans, and them that come after, which is who? Babylon the Great, man. North America. This is plain, man. It's plain understanding, man. Be not deceived. Be well, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, man. And our people have been consumed with the philosophies of the world, man, which is plain, man. We know who we are dealing with. They had to be revealed in a certain time, man. Through what? Their wicked actions. When you go to Google and type in the destruction, and that's just what Google say, right? It say, let's type it in. Let's type it in. Watch this. I typed in how long have America been in war? It say it just comes right up. The US has been at war 225 years out of 243 years since 1776. You see that? Plain, man. The U.S. has been at war 225 out of 243 years since 1776, man. You see, the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, man. And that's why they have over 800 military bases. And this was a couple years ago, a few years ago. Ain't no telling how many military bases, how many garrisons that they have up throughout all the earth now, man. They said over 800 military bases. That was years ago, man. But what about now, man? Much wicked oppression. And this only applies to one group of people, man. And the sister brother put it up. Let's read this. Job 9 and 24 from the brother believer of the truth, Malak. The earth also, it said the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Now we always go into this, right? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. When you read Malachi 1 and 4, they tell you who the wicked is. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who are the main judges of planet Earth? Who? The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is the main judge of the planet. And he has a son whose name is Yahushua, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. They are the number one two judges, the Heavenly Father Yahweh and his only begotten Son Yahushua. These are the main two judges. So let's deal with the judges, the main two judges first. Well, when you look at the picture of Jesus Christ, Jesus Christos, Cesare Borgia is the image of who? A so-called white man, right?
whom Rodrigo Borgia, the sixth Pope of Rome, had these guys, Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, to paint his son's image to be the Messiah. Right? The scriptures tell us otherwise. That say the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. So, dealing with the main two judges of the planet Earth, which is the Heavenly Father Yahweh and His only begotten Son Yahweh Shai. When you go to the 16th chapter, and we use this all the time, edification, you can't get around it. They got the finger of God touching the finger of Adam, right? So-called white people, right? The scriptures say otherwise. Now we got this image in all these churches around the world of Cesare Borgia, Jesus Christos, which is the image of who? So-called white man. Who painted these images? It's called Renaissance art. It's called iconoclasm, meaning to whitewash, right? So that scripture, Job 9:24, is plain to us, man. It's plain. Like these puzzle pieces that used to be scattered everywhere, the Lord put the spirit on our Bivens and He passed it down to our elders, all the way to us right now, man. And we have putting these pieces together through our elder, and it all makes sense, man. This puzzle that was scattered has now come together, man. Now, who are the other judges of the earth? King David, Solomon. You got the Israelites, right? Well, we knew, according to these scriptures, that our heritage was going to get taken from us. We was going to forget who we were. We was going to lose our customs, all that, right? This is all prophecy, man. It's all clear to us now. We understand, and there is no more deceiving Israelites. Let me get this. So you whitewashed all the images of the Hebrew Israelites. Every image that was found. When you get this book called Russian Icons, it shows you in the when we was ruling the earth and all the statues that we had built, man, we had made. Now this is damn it, I forgot where I was gonna go at Slovakia. Let me get this. Maybe it'll jog my memory. This is First Maccabees 3:48. And it reads, I forgot where I was finna go at. It say First Maccabees 3:48, and lay open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. You see, their images, man. So who is this in Job 9:24? Who is this talking about, man? The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges. If not, wherein who is he? We does not have, we do not have a Chinese Jesus. There is no Japanese Jesus. There is no Pakistani Jesus, right? There is no Shia and Sunni Jesus, right? There's no Iranian Jesus. There's no Arab Jesus, right? There's only one form, one image of a Jesus Christ. And it's the so-called white man. Is this not plain to you, man? Man, I forgot the precept I was gonna get. Um, Let me get this. These are plain indicators of who we are dealing with. This is Ezekiel 28. And I'm going to start at verse 3. It reads, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Listen, everything is going to be revealed in time, man. This devil is wiser. Hey, this say this devil is wiser than any other nation, man. Right? Well, when you come to the terms of this truth, through the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, hey, we are wiser than these devils, man. Because the Lord have revealed everything to us that these devils was trying to keep in secret. It say, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. See, this devil is the wisest. Hey, it say, with thy wisdom And with that understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and has gotten gold and silver into thy treasure. It's talking about these devils, right? It is Job 9 and 24. But when you go to James 5 and 1, what it say? Thy garments, thy gold and silver is corrupted, thy garments are moth eaten. Verse 5 say, listen, that's how we know it's talking about this devil. By thy great wisdom, which is what the Lord gave them that tech. They got the high tech, which now proven, it seems now that you got these Chinamen, right? Moab, they got more tech than these devils do. But it say, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has thy increased thy riches. That goes into James 5 and 1. And thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. You see the pride of these devils. And that's why when Jake get a little money, they get bugged out, man, because money go to Jake head, man. Hey, and they get that from this devil, man. It say, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. This devil traffic everything, right? That's why Babylon the Great, right? That's why they got ports all over here, man. That's what the port system is about, man. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has thy increased thy riches. The other nations make money too, good money. But this is talking about this devil, man. Esau, Edom, who their time shall come through them, man. These things are plain to us, man. This devil traffic. There's a port on every major state here, man. Every state has a port here, man. He's talking about these devils, man. Hey, the water, Yahweh Shema Shah Barakatah. Hey, Kala Wahawala, Yahweh Shema Shah, man, for this lesson. So, man, I forgot the precept. What should come back? It won't come back to me. Might not be meant to bring it out. Anyway, we know who we dealing with, man. It's plain. And for everybody else that can't see this, it doesn't matter, man. Either it ain't for you at this time. Maybe the Lord will give it to you at a later time, man. But we know who we dealing with. All the atrocities that has happened on this earth, man. It came from who? This is Numbers. And the Lord speak plain, man. This ain't some this ain't Chinese arithmetic, man. It's plain, man. This is Numbers 35 and 33. It reads, matter of fact, let me get this first. This is Genesis chapter 9 and 6. It reads, whoso sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of power made he man. Right? This is Numbers 35 and 33. It say, whosoever shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. And the Lord already got this mapped out, man. This is number 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shared therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So what the Lord telling Cain, you slayed your brother Abel, your blood will be shedded, man. That's plain. What did the Lord ask Cain? Where is thy brother? What did this nigga say? I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? This nigga lied twice. Let's read it. Genesis 4. Listen to this. It say, this is Genesis 4 and 6. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen? Right? Jumping to the point. And the Lord, verse 9, Genesis 4 and 9, the Lord Yahweh said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, nigga, you the oldest. You supposed to be your brother's keeper. This nigga lied to Yahweh, man. Just like that. And that's why it said what they come in the Psalms 58 and 3. And let's get that. This nigga lied to Yahweh Shema Shai instantly. He ain't even blink his eye, man. The wicked, this is Psalm 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And when was they reborn? When they came out of the cage, man, which is what their rebirth, right? When you go in Revelations 20, let's read that. This is Revelations 20 and 4, and it reads, Revelations 20 and 5, it say, no, Salakia, Revelations 20 and 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit. Matter of fact, let's read too. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he shall deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after this, he must be loosed a little season. Verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. This is when they came out of Caucasus Mountain, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, which is Roman, which is the Russians, to gather them to battle, the number of whom is at the sand of the sea. And that's who's going to destroy North America, the Russians and everybody else. Now, it said he must be loosed a little season to go out to deceive the nations, right? Now, when you read in Job 30, and these are the same precepts, because they all talking about who's in rulership. This is Job 30 and 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I will have disdain to have sit with the dogs of my flock. Yeah, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. Well, exiled to the Caucasus Mountain, for want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness in former times, desolate and waste. You see, who cut up mallows by the bushes. And that's why these devils love to sit around fires and eat marshmallows, man. And go back to the mallow root. It said, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. You see, among the bushes, it say they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. This is talking about over there in Georgia, Russia, man. Okay, the Caucasus Mountain. Go look it up. Among the bushes they braided, meaning they were sounding like horses and donkeys and mules and pigs. Among the bushes they braided, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cliffs of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. This is where they was at. This is all proof of proof, man. It's proof. You can't get around it. It's all proof, man. This is Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 10. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots up upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. This is during the Babylonian siege. Okay, what is that? 586 BC. It say, but thou shouldst have not looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldst thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. This is going when you read Luke 21, right? When Jerusalem was taken down and Judah, Benjamin, Levi, it said, what shall go into captivity amongst all the nations? That Yahweh, the Messiah, spoke about that in Luke 21, man. It say, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither should his thou have stood in the crossways to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither should his thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. You see, when you read in Ezekiel 35, I want to read this point, verse 10. It reads, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh power, I will even do according to thy anger, and according to thy envy which thou hast used out of the hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountain of Israel, saying, they are laid desolate, they are given us to consumed. That's what your mouth have you boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. So these things is plain to us, man. We know who we dealing with. We know who we dealing with, man. And you gotta pay. You gotta pay for this. There's gonna come a time when you gotta pay. And it's plain, man. It is plain who we are dealing with, man. It used to be a mystery. Well, now it has been made known, man. And look, the brother put it up. Kashan 72. Rebirth. A second or a new birth. Synonyms: reincarnation, renaissance. Beautiful. The water out. Yeah. A second or a new birth, man. And that's what it is. Right? Psalms 58 and 3. They come out of the womb speaking lies. They came out of the womb of the caves. Hey, all over again. With what? With much wicked oppression, man. To deceive the world, man. With wickedness. It said the brother in his light, and Yahshua put up heathen. It's a person, it's a person who does not belong to a widely held religion, especially one who is not a Christian, Jew, or Muslim, as regarded by those who do. Heathen, period. And the Lord say, if he chasten you not, in Hebrews 12, you are a heathen to him, man. And we know you heathens, man. Anybody outside of this truth, hey, you a heathen. If you're not a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indian, or Haitian, you are a heathen, man. That's period. That's why Yahweh that's why the Lord said this in Hosea, as it reads. Hosea 8 and 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure. If you living among the heathen, the Gentiles, you are empty. And that's why I tell you in Proverbs 21 and 16, a man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Meaning you are a heathen, or like a heathen or a publican, as the Lord said. Hey, so Lord willing edifying. Gotta give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rikakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. And shalom to the Akwal who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. The Lord willing is edifying. I want to read this. This is First Maccabees 1 and verse 1. It reads, and it happened, because what we missing out of the Bible, what I was reading Daniel 8, is the Greek Empire, the rulership of the Greek Empire, which came through Alexander the Greek, right? Alexander the so-called Greek, because he wasn't a Greek. The original Greeks are Noah's second oldest son, Japhet. They are Japhite people, man. Okay? Alexander the so-called Greek was not a Japhetic person, man. He was an Idumean. So first Maccabees 1:1, they say, and it happened after the Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes. And that's what I was reading in Daniel 6 about the ram with the two horns and the he goat. The ram with the two horns represent the Medo and Persian Empire. Okay? The he goat represented Alexander the Great, which conquered. Right here it said, that's why I was reading Daniel 8, the Wali Haba Shemawasha. I say, had smitten Darius, the king of Persians and Medes, that was the two horns on the ram, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece. The first over Greece. Greece was already in rulership before Alexander came along, or his father. It say, and made many wars and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth, and went through the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, meaning there was nobody else to conquer. Alexander the Great did that. He did that. It say, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries and nations and kings, which became tributaries unto him. After these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die. Wherefore he called his servants such as were honorable, and go back to the word noble, as I read in Daniel 8, before noble horns came up. It's saying he had brought up, it say, and had been brought up with him from his youth, which is his four generals, and part of his kingdom among them while he was yet alive. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants ruled every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. This is the point I'm finna make. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Hold on. This is Proverbs. Always a beautiful precept to go with that. Proverbs 29:16 reads, it said what? And evils was multiplied in the earth. This is Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increase, but the righteous shall see their fall. So we know that was the beginning rulership of Esau Edom. Well, it said what? That the end of their times may come through them. Who? Esau Edom. Right? Esau is the end. Oh, that's what I was going to get. Because it said about in 2nd Ezra 69 that Esau, that Jacob took hold of Esau's heel, right? Like it said in Genesis 25. Well, this is Hosea 12:3. And it reads, Salakia, he took his brother by the heel in the womb. Hosea 12:3. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength with he had power with God. What's that? Yahshua Allah. Yahi Shah Prince. Allah is power. Hosea 12:3. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with God. You see that? So, as this precept read, what? He took his brother by the heel in the womb. It don't tell you who. It just give you the point. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength, who? Jacob, he had power with Yahweh Shema Shai. Now let's read it again. Genesis. Let's read it for the first time. Salakia. Genesis 25. Reading the point. And it reads, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. It don't say he was hairy all over like a garment with red tints. It said then the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And if you go to Google and type in hairy garments, if you type in red hairy garments, it's gonna show you garments. Like if you go kill a bear and skin the skin off them, and you finna make a coat or whatever out of it, and you dye it red. That's what it's talking about. That's what it's talking about. Go to Google and type it up, man. And the first came out red all over, like in hairy garment. Why does it mention like a hairy garment? Because people used to dye their garments red in ancient time, man. Whether it was a beaver or you grabbed a buffalo or whatever, you dyed the garments red. It say, and they called his name Esau, and after that came out his brother, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. So when you read in Second Ezra 6 and 9, and it says this, Second Ezra 6 and 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. What's it in Hosea? It said the same thing, man. It just don't give you the names because this is prophecy. He took his brother by the heel in the womb, and by his strength he had power with Yahweh Shema Shai. That proves to you, if it don't, you just bugged out, that Jacob will rule. Back in 2 Ezra 6 and 9 now. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So closing with this, 2 Ezra 11 and 39 again. Are not thou it that remainest of the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomites, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times, the Roman Empire times, may come through them. Who? North America, Babylon the Great. The same people. Lord was edifying. Again, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rikak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether you can accept it or not. In a sincere salutation, to all the pushing this truth and believing this truth through the full means of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hopeful elect. And shalom to the walls who are listening and learning, that few sisters who are listening and learning. Lord was edifying to the next time I say shalom. Wa ababa ball. The water for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. Hey, the water for your precepts. The water. Stay prayed up, man. Shalom. Wa ababa ball.